to it. It stands out a little bit more. But again, the fact that they were able to put an airflow in there and the whole thing, it just looks great.
And now, Randy, you have one of these. It's in 1/32nd scale.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, there was silence there for a moment. I was like, wait
a
think
minute.
about that one.
Where was I that night? I don't remember.
And we actually raced at the SEMA show.
Oh,
You know,
that's true.
That car right there looks like a pair of my old Adidas that I had.
I just
You know, with the swoosh on the side,
Yeah.
and whatever the stripes, the three
the
stripes.
Rambler Rebel. This was 390 cubic inches. You got a 4-speed, and they were neat cars. If you go to an AMC show, and there are special shows for the AMCs, these are coveted machines along with the Scrambler. We'll show pictures of that in a bit,
The
too.
machine?
The
That's a
machine.
Scrambler
And
there.
Here's the Scrambler. Actually, they called it a Scrambler. That was the nickname of it. It was SC Rambler.
Right.
Yeah. And everyone just called it a Scrambler. But 390 cubic inches, 4-speed. You can get any color you wanted as long as it's red, white, and blue. There were 2 years of these cars, and they had different paint jobs. This is the more popular of the two, and even the seats had a red, white, and blue stripe in them, but the basic interior color was black. These were 390 cubic inch AMC Americans, which were a very lightweight car, the size of a Chevy 2 or a Ford Falcon. And they were pretty darn quick.
You remember what the horsepower was on those?
315, if I remember correctly. And here was
There
the
we go.
AMC.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do when you've got a Javelin? You need a smaller car. You lop off 10 inches of wheelbase. You now have a 2-seater. And the AMX was built for a number of years. A 2-seat, basically a Javelin. So kind of like the same rule of thumb they used for the Gremlin. We don't need that back end. And there it's gone.
And the only problem about that is it just dramatically changed the handling. If you did not expect the 2-seater to handle, if you thought it was going to handle just like the Javelin, you were sadly wrong. And unfortunately, that caused issues for some people who had AMXs. But I'm told you can get used to it.
Yeah, it's just very twitchy because of the short wheelbase.
Right.
But they were great for drag racing. And we'll have a picture of Shirley Shahan's car in just a little bit.
Is that her?
Booyah. No,
okay, just checking.
That was the promo photograph for the AMX when it first came out.
A buddy of mine was a
different.
drummer, and he used to load his drums into his AMX, and I don't know how he did it. But he
no
crammed
back
the whole-
seat.
Yeah.
Well, also, was there no partition in the back too? You can actually.
I don't believe so, but there's a real short deck lid.
Right.
Now we talk about gremlins in the computer. Here's a real gremlin. And these had up to a 304 cubic inch V8 from the factory. And you could get them with a 4-speed or an automatic. It was a torque flight.
Or denim.
Or denim, yes. There was the Levi edition.
That's right.
But that you could have with a 6-cylinder. Now, although 304 wasn't very big, the race versions had the 401. But in SCCA road racing, these little cars with the 6-cylinder dominated the BF Goodrich Radial Challenge series. They were very good handling cars, even though with their short wheelbase, they were twitchy just like the AMX.
This looks like Starsky Forgot Hutch.
It did,
Yes.
yeah. This was one of the latter little gremlins with the full big stripe. There's the one I like the best, and that was the earlier gremlins with just the hockey puck stripe.
Starsky with a lobotomy there, I believe.
Yeah, there it is.
That was that.
It's almost a pacer, isn't it?
Yeah, almost. But towards the end of life of the Gremlins, they had a deal with Audi. And the 4-cylinder engine, they needed some fuel economy, and the 6-cylinder just wasn't making it. They put a 4-speed Audi 4-cylinder in these cars.
Wow.
And it was a carbureted version. It wasn't the fuel injected like the Audi got. And they were pretty underpowered.
Shocking.
Shocking. The 6-cylinder had a lot more torque. Now, this car I always loved. This was the experimental AMX that never came out, but it was a show vehicle, and this kind of let you see that AMC was not just making stodgy cars. They could have made this, and it would have been a Di Tommaso killer at the time.
Yes.
I think that was just a buck too. I don't think that had a motor or anything.
I don't know, but one of them or this one showed up at Pebble Beach a few years ago, and it is in the hands of a private owner now.
Wow.
So it was a gorgeous car. And there's another shot of the Scrambler, and the unique Magnum 500 wheels. They were painted blue, the trim ring. And you can see the red, white, and blue stripes now on the seats.
That's a hell of a red stripe on there.
That is.
Man.
You didn't miss that car. Right alongside it, there's the AMX painted up. Now, I don't remember the AMX getting the triple color paint
Was it
job.
Mark Donahue?
Donahue was driving the Javelins.
Speaking of which,
nice.
Looking into my crystal ball.
And he was driving for Penske, and Penske took the championship. Shut down. Penske got, I guess, disappointed or something with Chevrolet and switched to AMC and was able to just dominate the Trans Am Series that year, winning about 9 out of the 10 or 11 races they had. And it was just perfectly dominant with that car. Unfortunately, it was towards the latter part of the Trans Am Series, and the series went away.
There you go. There's Shirley's car.
There's Shirley's car. Shirley Shahan. She got most of her notoriety driving Mopars, even though that is a Mopar today. But she was a super stock driver, took a championship, won the Winter Nationals, and a whole number of races. Was probably the top stock driver in NHRA. And this is one of the latter cars. This was her AMX.
Now, if you want to see what some of these look like in person, coming up next month will be Spring Fling. There's a big Mopar show, Chrysler Performance West, and I'm always the MC at that event.
Where's that?
That's over at Woodley Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need to come out there. We have cars coming in from other states. We've had some in Canada coming down, and it's always fun to look at those cars, speaking of the machine right there.
Yeah.
Some of the cars out there that we have coming from Canada, for example, they're made differently. For example, your Dodges that come down from Canada, they have Plymouth dashboards.
Right.
Although they still have the push-button trans and the push buttons on the instrument panel, but they have a lot of them have Plymouth instrument panels.
I think it'd be cool to have a Fargo pickup truck.
There you go.
Yeah,
which was the Chrysler. Was a Plymouth.
Yeah. Well,
or
it was a Dodge truck,
depending on the year.
Yeah.
The early ones were shared Plymouth and Dodge, the body style.
Right.
A lot of different, and we talked about this too. My Plymouth in Canada, and I've got a 48 Plymouth Coupe, was sold also as a Dodge, and I got the Dodge trim on my trunk and the Plymouth up front just to screw with people.
Hey, so Randy, is the show you're talking about, is that on the same weekend as Fabulous Fords Forever this year? Because, see, last year was,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
wanted to go to your show.
Okay.
Yeah, likewise.
What's the date?
Well, get your priorities in order and go to the right show.
Okay,
let's
then.
go.
See, all I got to
think
do is
that's
figure it
close
out.
enough to travel all the way down to Orange County.
Second weekend in April.
Second weekend in April. It's, I believe, April 13th and 14th.
Okay.
All right.
Got it right here on this itty-bitty card. Whoops.
There it is, someplace hiding there.
Da.
Yeah, there's the machine. There's the Javelin once again.
Hey, April 13th is Tony Dow's birthday.
Is it really?
Man,
Tony
dude,
You know what,
Dow's
I'm doing with him?
No.
I'm taking him to JDRF at Auto Club Speedway. We're going to be driving exotic cars
is
around
that
the track.
weekend too?
Yep.
Oh,
That's on the 13th.
Okay, so
No, that's the week before.
no, 13th and 14th will be
no, that is
Spring Fling.
Yeah, that's right. And the 14th is going to be the Fabulous Ford show.
Well, I'm not
And
taking
they
him on his
moved it.
birthday. I'm taking him the week before.
The week
Oh,
before.
yeah,
we'll,
we're gonna be fine.
we'll come to that show.
You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Now,
Don't worry
this year,
about
the Ford show has moved from Knott's Berry Farm, where it's been for 20-some-odd years, and they're moving it to Anaheim Stadium. So it's going to be bigger.
I think that's even further
and
away.
larger.
Yes, it is.
I hope it has better weather than the
Than the last
fuel
one you went
thing
to?
that we
Yeah.
went to. Yeah, they had this big thing, Paul Walker and,
Yeah.
and celebrities and all
And
that.
it was a
Tyrese
flood.
was there, and
Yeah.
and we went out there just to see what the story was, and it was raining so hard. I learned, do not wear tennis shoes or basketball shoes while you're in a downpour, because
That's it.
it just
No.
gets wet.
Things not to do.
Things not to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a new show.
Should have worn my mucklucks.
Mucklucks, yes.
Got a
Waiters.
Zebo.
There
Yes.
you go. All right, this weekend it's going to be a busy weekend for Randy and I. We're going to be at the Classic Auto Show. Bruce is going to be there too. He's going to be videotaping a lot of the cars and the event. We'll have him at our booth as well. We can talk to him. You may end up being the interviewee if you come by at the right time. Fireball, what are you doing this weekend?
If you're going to the Classic Auto Show, which
Yes.
I recommend that you do,
Yes.
it's 2 days.
That's right.
But if you live in Ventura or in the north area and you got to drive all the way down there,
the way down.
it's a good stop. Just saying, stop in Malibu at the Wheels and Waves at the Malibu Country Mart for some free coffee, free Hot Wheels. Get your mojo going,
Yes.
and then head to the show, man.
Yeah, that's
That'll
it.
work.
And you
That's
get
the
there
plan.
early. Yeah, to get there early. It's on the way. Taking the coast route is actually quicker than taking the 101 freeway and the 405.
It's
so
a
you
lot
can come
more
down
fun.
the coast route. My wife was there last month. She made the show. She stopped by on her way down. She was on her way down to the ADM, the Automotive Driving Museum. She stopped by, went to your show, then drove down to El Segundo from there.
Fantastic.
And it's a much better drive. It's a beautiful drive on the coast.
That's why we're there. That's why we do it early.
Absolutely. Coming up on the latest Talking About Cars, as a matter of fact, a new one is uploading on Thursday. It's looking like we're going to have Robert Kerdoon of Revenge of the Nerds fame.
Very nice.
And he's going to talk a little bit about why he likes undercover police cars and why his favorite drag strip may be Mulholland Drive. I'm just saying. Also, who did I say we were talking to? The NASCAR guy.
The NASCAR guy, yes. The new guy in NASCAR.
New guy. Matt Benedetto or something like that? Matt?
I don't know.
Well, whatever it is,
as you can tell, we are not NASCAR fans.
That guy is going to be on the show.
He's going to be on the show, and not after he sees this. But we're also going to have Playmate of the Year 2013, Rachel Pomplin.
Can we? Do you have guests? I mean, can you have guests of guests?
Take a deep breath.
I
mentioned I did mention Playboy Playmate of the Year.
Yeah, and so everybody can't talk
now. One of the pictures that you may not have noticed that we didn't talk to was the Playmate AMX.
Yes,
that was.
No, it wasn't on there though. Did we show it? The pink one?
I didn't see it.
I sent it, didn't I?
I do. How would we identify it?
It's pink.
It's pink.
Jinx went to the Yomi Rupe.
And she's actually standing with it.
Oh yeah, she's. Well, it's not hers, but she is this the old? Is this the one from when she originally got it?
Yes, she has dark hair and she's
Victoria Vetri.
That's it.
Yeah, you could actually see or listen, I should say, to that podcast as well on radio.com, KNX1070.com, Apple Podcasts, all those places where you get your podcasts. But it's really an interesting story behind it, and that was back in the day when they actually gave the Playmates the cars.
Yes.
And we have a plan to talk to even more Playmates, I believe, next month. So we will.
Always fun.
We will give that a shot.
As they say in Playboy, the stories are really great.
Yes,
yes,
they are.
Yeah. They are.
Yes, they are. But
and they all got cars too.
Yeah, and in fact, Rachel's year was the first year, 2013, that they did not give them the cars.
Oh,
they actually started a year lease in 2013 with her. So. And you'll find out her reaction to that.
Yeah, I can imagine, because that was a heck
and what
of a
she
gift.
did to her last car, the Playboy car that she got, and what was the one part about that car she really liked.
Uh-oh.
So that'll be coming up. So that'll be a brand new podcast talking about cars, number 135, and that'll be starting Thursday morning. We'll have it uploaded to all those radio.com, KNX1070.com places.
Show.
Bruce, how's your Lincoln doing?
Man, it's doing good. And, of course, I'll be prepping that for show season. Maybe have a little local show coming up very, very early in April. And then, things go boom. Not the car.
No.
No,
don't work on the radiator again. I don't want you breaking your foot.
Yeah. None of that now. And I'm still looking for bushings for the rear end. There's a lot of bushings that need replacing. It's an odd size. And because it's doing a little bit of that on the freeway.
I can't handle talking about Playmates and then bushings in the same conversation.
Not with rear ends, no.
Thank you. And one more thing, if I can throw this in.
Go right ahead,
We actually
please.
did this yesterday. I am a former sportscaster at Channel 11, Fox 11 here in L.A. And so they're celebrating their 70th anniversary. Coming up on March 29th will be a segment about sports coverage at Channel 11. And let's see, Liz Habib, who's a sports person there now, I'm going to be on it. Steve Garvey's going to be on it.
Arms Garvey.
What's that?
Arms Garvey.
Yes, Elaine Perkins, who, by the way, was one of the first women to ever get in the men's locker rooms. We're talking in the mid-'80s when that just didn't happen. So she has some great stories to tell as far as, the fact that how the teams interacted with her and all that type of thing. So it's real interesting. I understand it's going to be March 29th around 5 or 6 in the evening. So, and they'll repeat it a bunch of times. But check that out as well.
Cool. All right.
Join me tomorrow morning.
Yes.
8 o'clock in the morning. Facebook Live, Art Talk.
Get up that early?
You got nothing to. 8 o'clock. It's time change has happened already.
So it's really 7, man. It's really 7. God.
Gosh.
I thought we sprang forward.
Yeah,
did we fall back?
did.
I don't know what the hell.
We sprang forward.
Oh, and I'm on KNX 1070 tomorrow
1070
morning.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
You get there at dark
So listen,
30.
listen to Randy.
Listen to Randy.
And then
listen to Fireball, and then I'll be sleeping and thinking about you all.
That's
all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. And we'll talk to you next time. Hope to see you at the Orange County Fairgrounds for the Classic Automobile Show 2019 edition. And we hope to see you there. Here's the official logo of the show, the Classic Auto Series. Fingers are available separately.